Hello, friends, social media friends, and family. I hope I see you here in a second. Welcome back to Meaningful Conversations with Beata. I do this show every Tuesday at noon Mountain Standard Time. Why I do it? This show was created for you to bring hope, raise awareness, and inspire transformation. Every Tuesday, I bring a special guest for you, the change maker, the motivator, and successful person that will help you to move forward with whatever you are dealing with. Today, we have Bert Oliva, my mentor, coach, human behavior expert, motivational speaker, and author. Bert focuses on helping companies and individuals tap into their greatness by teaching them leadership, communication, and helping to improve their overall performance. And it's what we're gonna talk about today. But before that, Bert, welcome to the show. I'm really honored to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. You know what we're going to do? I didn't talk to you before. Would it be okay to show them a video so they have an idea of who I am?
Absolutely. If I know how to do it.
You don't have to do anything. Just sit right there.
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it. Let me bring it up real quick so they can see it.
The following is rated R for results and may not be suitable for the negative mind. Bert Oliva is an international orator, as well as a renowned authority on leadership and human behavior. For over 2 decades, Bert Oliva has touched the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. He speaks around the world about his experiences, and his teachings have enchanted audiences all over the world, showing them the power of mind over matter. Bert has a dedicated social media following and an impressive online influence few possess.
People are looking for that edge, you know?
And you know who's going to get us there?
You tell me.
Bert Oliva.
Hi, Bert
Oliva.
Bert Oliva.
Enabling him to communicate with all kinds of audiences.
Considered the voice of inspiration and motivation.
He has developed many programs, recorded audio CDs, and written books, all of which to help those ranging from individuals to corporate and Fortune 500 companies. He has dedicated his life to speaking all over the globe and met some of the most influential and powerful people in the world.
Okay, let's go.
He has also coached highly successful business executives and politicians.
To influence millions of people around the world.
Make it happen.
We're making it happen.
Bert Oliva is a success and the father of humanology. So get ready to learn tools that will help you tap into your potential. Get ready to connect and be part of a positive, world-changing mission. Get ready to have an experience you won't soon forget. Please help me welcome Bert Oliva.
Whoa. What an amazing introduction. Oh my goodness. Thank you for allowing me to show what you do in a bigger scale. Everyone who's listening to follow. And again, Bert, it's my honor to have you on my show.
Thank you so much.
So today's topic is start performing at your peak level. I was reading one of your article on Twitter, and it was like, oh my gosh, it's what I want to talk to him about, and I need to get him on my show. So achieving peak performance is goal for many people, especially entrepreneurs. We are all high achievers when we at least try to run our businesses. But it can be intimidating process and hard to make it happen. So what does peak performance mean to you, and how do you get there?
Well, basically, let me shut off my phone because it was going off real quick. Basically, I truly believe everyone has greatness inside of them. The only person that holds them back is really themselves. However, we like to blame our significant other, and we like to blame, our family. And the truth is really you. I truly believe you have greatness. So the whole thing is we need to figure out when is it or when was it in your time that you know that everything you were doing was correct? It was a certain state. It could have been maybe when you were younger. It could have been last week, or maybe, in the upcoming month. Things are starting to change. So everyone has greatness. It's figuring out how do we tap into that greatness so you can live a life, the life that you deserve and desire. Because basically, anything that you want or anything that you dream of, you can really have it. And it's not easy, because if it was easy, we were talking about this before, everyone would be doing it. So I truly believe that everyone has greatness, and there's certain techniques that we do in order to put people into to figure out what their peak state is, right? A state of awareness, state of just that they're unstoppable. And you know what I'm talking about, because you've been there. We've all been there. The whole thing is figuring out the recipe or the triggers that we need in order to go ahead and get into that state anytime we need to, and more often than not. So that way you don't go around, being the victim. I'd rather you be the victor, right? Being the person is success. So it's a little deep. It takes a little while to get people there. And when I say a while, when you come to one of my seminars, I guarantee you within 45 minutes, you will leave feeling a lot better. But not only because in the seminar setting you feel that way, but we're giving you applicable tools so you can start learning how your subconscious mind works.
So how to get into that state? What is one, if you can share one of these tools?
There's, in fact, let me see if I have it here so I can share that with your audience. I do have it. Let me see if I can bring it up. One of the things in my latest book, we talk about putting yourself in states. Let me see if I have it over here. Because, this one thing about Beata, she doesn't tell you what she's going to ask you. Because she wants you to be as authentic as possible, not have these questions set up and then you're like, so I like that. So let me see, I have here, let me bring up this real quick. So that way, and then all this stuff, we've had to do it in order to be able to talk to the audiences in different places. Here we go, I'll bring it up right now. Technology has just, I've been doing seminars for over 27 years, going all over the world, but now I'm going all over the world through Zoom, StreamYard, whatever. So we've had to set up the system. So let me go ahead and pop this up real quick. Conditioning. I'm going to give you a recipe to you and your audience, and you know about this already because you and I have been coaching for a while. But your audience, this is a real simple recipe that will become, it'll help you become more aware on what it is you need to do to change your state. We have over here, wait, let me see. Pop this up here. Here we go. Here we go, conditioning. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop in the corner. There we go. So that way I'm not leaving you there alone. I'm over here on the bottom. So conditioning, it takes 45 seconds to change your state or state of mind. So anyone who's watching, bring out a piece of paper and a notepad and write these things down. It takes 45 seconds. So if you've ever, think about it, when you listen to your favorite song, you don't need to listen to the song for 3 to 5 minutes. Within 45 seconds, your state will change. So what I tell people is, why don't you wake up every morning and put on your favorite tunes, right? Go ahead and dance in front of the mirror. We call it the victory dance. So you put on the music, you dance, right? And you feel better. Your significant other is going to look at you and think you're crazy. Well, I truly believe crazy people succeed, right? So at the end of the day, if you're not being called crazy, then chances are you're not pushing hard enough. So first thing you want to do is change your state, do this recipe, 45 seconds, do it every day. It says that it takes 21 days to change or create a habit. 21 days include weekends. A lot of people want to work on their body, work on their mind from Monday to Friday and take Saturday and Sunday off. Your mind doesn't work that way. Is your life going to change in 21 days? Absolutely not. You will adjust it and you start creating certain cycles. After a few cycles of 21, you would be in a better place. But let's just start with simplicity, right? Let's start with the 45 seconds. You start applying that for the next 21 days. It takes about 21 days to change or create a new habit. If you think about back in the old days when people would work for companies, right? They had corporate America, you would have 3 weeks training. 3 weeks training was 21 days. And it goes on, I get into deeper in my book when I talk about the 21-day thing. And then the next thing is 6 months. Whatever you do, after you've done it for over 6 months, it creates in the subconscious mind a thing called addiction. Not a good or bad thing. It's just the word addiction. And the best example I give you is people have started to work out and they go to gyms, right? They start training every day. They do it for the first 45 seconds. Then they do it for 21 days. 6 months later, they're kind of addicted to going to the gym. The day that they miss the gym, they don't feel good. And they don't know why. The reason they don't feel good is because they are addicted to doing that one action every day. So same thing, whatever you decide to go out after, whether I want to earn more money, I want to go ahead and feel better every day, it takes little increments, 45 seconds, 21 days, 6 months. The next one, it takes 9 years. It takes 9 years to be what's called institutionalized, right? Which is not a bad thing. So when I'm on stage, I tell people all the time, how many of you ever been married for 9 years? And they raise their hand. I'm like, well, you've been institutionalized. In 9 years, you're so conditioned doing the same thing. So if you're in a bad relationship for over 9 years, chances are you're not going to break that. It's going to take you a lot harder to break that because you're so conditioned. You work for a company for 9 years. You get fired. You don't know what to do because you're institutionalized on the subconscious level. 2020, at one time, did an interview with nuns. True story. You guys can look it up. And they went, there were these ladies that had bad relationships and they wanted to become nuns. So the Vatican allowed them to go ahead and be nuns, even though they weren't virgins. So they went through the program. They did the whole thing. After they dressed them up. They looked beautiful. They went into the convent. When they went to the convent, the cameras were not allowed into the convent. Guess for how many years? 9. Because it's been known that it takes 9 years to be institutionalized. That's why in the United States of America, the president only has 2 terms. That's 8 years. Most countries that have dictators is because they've been in power for over 9 years. So how does this all work? You want to go ahead and break something, break a pattern, something that you've been doing for 9 years. It's not going to happen overnight. It happens over time. However, you can start by doing exercises of 45 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and do this every day for the next 21 days. 6 months, 9 years later, you've reprogrammed yourself. Now, a lot of people in today's world will be like, 9 years is a lifetime. Think about it. It's not that it's going to take 9 years to create this massive change in your life. However, while you're doing these recipes of 21 days, you're not just changing one thing. You're changing different patterns in cycles of 21. After 9 years, you're a totally different person. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Yes. Wow. So
I have a lot of goodies for you here today. You see it because of all
this
technology.
I'm so happy.
Let me ask the audience: are you guys enjoying this? Yes or no? Yes. I knew it.
People, you cannot be bored listening to Bert. So please listen and share. So wow, that was so powerful. 45 seconds to change a state, then 21 days to change habit.
Change a habit.
6 months, it's becoming addiction. So it's where you find your motivation. Yes, because when you don't do it, you feel bad. And 9 years institutional. How you pronounce it?
Institutionalized. You become institutionalized.
Exactly what he said.
But think about this. Let's look at Beata, right?
Right.
Beata had a goal to one day have a show like this. If you go back, it didn't happen overnight.
Yes.
Right? You started working on it 45 seconds. Next thing you know, but we do this on a subconscious level. I just created a recipe to show people how they can do it in a conscious level. So you've been doing it for like over 6 months. You're addicted to it. Whether you feel bad or good, you're going to do your show because it's part of the program now. Program in your mind, your program. 9 years later, it's been said that it takes over 10 years to become an expert in your industry, in whatever it is that you do. You have over 10,000 hours or 10 years, one or the other, whichever comes sooner, right? Well, if you start doing interviews that often, you keep doing it, in 9 years, you might have, back in the day, you would say you would have it in that international television or national TV, but nowadays you have more of a reach doing it through social media. but you see what I'm saying? It's people don't understand. When you look at actors, like the real big actors, and they're like, my God, where'd this person come from? They're great. They were doing it for over 10 years. Anything that's worth doing, you have to become an expert at it. And not because you tell people you're an expert. Once you become an expert, you know you're an expert when other people tell you you're an expert.
I love it. You know when you are an expert when other people tell you that you are an expert. So they start looking for you. They share your name. Yes, absolutely. Wow, that is so powerful. So since we are talking about change here, and I'm of course so interested in change and transition is what I do. So I have the question: what makes us grow and what makes us change in your experience?
The two things that really have an hindrance of us growing, or things that really hold us back, is either the pain or pleasure. Right? You either avoid things that are painful and you follow whatever is pleasurable. However, what's pleasurable for me may not be for you. So you can't judge what it is you're doing with other people's life stories or whatever. You can go ahead and relate to certain things, but at the end of the day, you're one of a kind. So you need to figure out what motivates you, what builds up your motivation. So a lot of times people are afraid because what is that? Two things. One thing is fear, right? Les Brown, your mentor and my mentor and a good friend of ours. He's been my friend for years. It became from a mentor. We ended up sharing stages together. I never forgot when he told me, Bert, fear is false expectations appearing real. Now think about that. What does that mean? We fabricate these things in our mind. Think about when your husband wants to go to a party that you don't want to go to. And you're like, oh no, it's going to be horrible. This is going to be the worst party. I don't even like those people. So at the end of the day, you try to avoid it. But when you finally get there, it's one of the funnest parties you've ever been to. How many times in life are you holding yourself back from success because you're afraid that things may be a certain way? Experience it first. Don't create the false expectations of something that hasn't happened yet. And that's what a lot of people do. Most people don't succeed. You know why, Beata? Because a lot of people, believe it or not, are afraid of success. What if I make it? What if I have all this money? Then people are not going to like me. Then rich people are boring. Rich people are not nice people. Look, why don't you get there first? And if you don't like it, you can give me the money. You have to experience it. You have to experience it.
That is so true. I love it. I always say, because it's a lot about comfort zone, yes? So I always say, stretch it. See how it's just the step farther and then decide if you like it or not. And I love how you said, experience it first. Write it down, people. Experience it first and then decide if you want to continue or not. And not just for not just for 1 second, like do it for 21 days. It's when you create the habit, try it for 21 days.
You got to remember something. We are all, everyone, especially all the coaches out there, all the gurus, all the people that do podcasts, we're all in the people business. No people, no business. So you cannot get out there if you're like thinking about all these things. When I do my video, when I do my first interview, when I do this, if I had the right camera, no, just get out there and do it. You will get the right camera. You would end up getting the right equipment, but you need to go out there and do it because you're probably not you, but you know what I'm saying? The people watching, you're probably the best kept secret, and that's not where you want to be because it's still a secret. You want to get out there. There's so many people. There's over 7 billion people on this planet waiting for someone like you. Not everyone thinks this beard is sexy, right? But think about it. Some people love Les Brown. Some people love Tony Robbins. Some people love Bert Oliva. It all depends, but different strokes for different folks. They're waiting for you, but most people are sitting back and waiting for the right time. The right time is now.
The right time is now. Absolutely. I echo that. Bert, what do you think is missing for people in their lives right now?
What's missing is Well, what happened with the virus and the whole pandemic thing, it kind of put a stop to the world. The world needed to breathe. And instead of sitting back and reflecting on the great things that you have, most people are reflecting on the things they don't have, especially with social media. You and I were talking about this. Social media is not reality for the most part, right? Unlike this show. This show is real. But think about it. A lot of people, we have three companies. One of the companies that I have is a video production company, right?
Right.
And my team went out this past weekend and they videotaped, this young lady who's a influencer. And I'm like, when they went out there, I asked me, how was she in real life? Was she really cool and everything? Like, no, she wasn't even happy. She would just turn on the camera and give you the smile. She would. So at the end of the day, that's what people don't understand. So I want people to take a step back, have gratitude on what they currently have. If you don't have a 10,000 square foot house, be happy you have a home. If you don't have a Ferrari, be happy that you have transportation. You will eventually get your Ferrari, your big mansions. Believe me, you will. As long as you find what it is you love, you will make it happen. However, be really grateful. Not just saying that you're grateful just because it's just to get social proof that people are, oh, I'm grateful. No, really experience it. Really get down into your heart. When this whole thing happened, I was traveling 3 weeks out of the month, all over the world, going from different countries, different events, from event to event. I was always on a plane or a hotel. And then when that whole pandemic stopped, my children moved back, and my children are older now. I'm not as young as I look, but my children moved back home and with their significant other, and we ended up. Luckily, we have a nice sized house, and we ended up having everyone at the home. And I kind of enjoyed those moments. We were able to get together and watch movies and do things that we had stopped doing because we were so busy trying to get successful. And a lot of people do that. They're so busy trying to be an influencer, trying to be on top of their game that they're missing out a thing called life. Because let me tell you, you finally get to that level, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. You want to go to the next level. Then you get to that level, and you're like, this is it. Let me go to the next level. And I admire that. But enjoy every level. Enjoy every moment of your life, because tomorrow is not promised.
Wow. Just to summarize what you said this beautiful, I'm going to quote you after. Don't get so busy so you are missing out on this thing called life. Wow. So powerful. And it's
what you don't do, though. I love you for that because I'm a fan, believe it or not. And I watch your social media posts and you are enjoying life. You're not saying to the world that, oh, my life is perfect. You put in a lot of hard work, but you can enjoy, like when you're doing certain things, and that's what I tell people, you want to put everything on social media. No, take a picture. That's going to go on social media. Then put the camera down and enjoy the moment. And I see you doing that with your posts on social media. That's about what living life is all about. It's not about making $1 million, $2 million, or $1 billion. Most people at that level, not all, but a lot of people, the more money they make, the more depressed they are. Because you get to a certain level of success that you're like, what else can I buy? Where else can I go? Right? And believe it or not, because I have a lot of my coaching students and, they need help because they get to a certain level of success. So don't go after so much because do you really want all that money? Do you really want all that fame? I want you to really think about it. Or are you doing this because you really want to help people? That's really my reason of doing it. I started my career because I learned all these things that changed my life, and I wanted to share it with the world. If it changed my life, it can change other people's lives too. The money and everything came right after that. Once I figured it out, I figured what my expertise was, and people then started telling me, "Oh, you're a human behavior expert. Oh, you know how to condition people." They started telling me, I was like, "Okay, this is it." But I didn't go after the money because most people that go. They choose a career path or something because of the fame or the money, they fail. And then they're even more upset with themselves because they went after it for the wrong reason. Even relationships, that. Some people get into a relationship because, oh, this is going to save me. Whether it's a woman or a man. And it's not
Especially
true.
women, they go after safety and they think that the relationship is gonna bring them security and increase the self-esteem, and it never works, never. Well, so seems, yeah, like you just was saying, on the outside sometimes for everyone that, wow, Bert Oliva, he lives at his peak performance every day. He doesn't need to do much. He is already there. So my question is it possible to...
And by the way, let me cut you before that. No, I don't. I wake up just like everyone else does.
It seems like,
yeah.
It can seem.
One good thing that people need to do is create a ritual or a routine, because we're used to routines. We've been conditioned that way. So one of the things is I have my ritual, I have my routine that I do every day to get me to that peak state in order to go to the gym, because I do not wake up in the morning and go, yes, I want to work out today. So people create a ritual. Do you meditate in the morning? Then do it for 45 seconds every day. Oh, but I would like to meditate for 10 minutes. Why? Why not start? You haven't even done it for 10 years. Start for 45 seconds. When I went to the gym, this is how I did it. Believe it or not, I've been doing it for years. But then with the pandemic, we stopped. I do it because the way the mind is programmed. So what I did was I drove to the gym, right? I went in, signed up, and left. I didn't work out. Yeah. Because I'm telling my mind, this is what I'm going to be doing every day again. Then I went to the gym, the first Monday, I walk into the gym. I did a little workout for like 15 minutes and I left. I did that for a week. Next week, 30 minutes. Now I work out for an hour and a half. And I wasn't in pain. I didn't hate the gym because I couldn't move. You have to do it in processes. This is the way we process information. A child starts to walk. They don't go from the first step to walking or running a 5K run. They start with crawling. They start with movement. So we are that child. People are trying to get successful way too fast. There's a process, and they're trying to skip the process. And when you look at social media, they have what I call infomercials. When they say, it will change your life. You will become a millionaire in 5 easy steps. Run the other way. because it's going to take you more than 5 easy steps. Absolutely. Nothing we're getting in life is free or easy. There has to be work done. And the more you put in, the better. This from experience, Beata.
Right, because it requires change, and change is hard. It's not like you said, you started your process by just signing up to the gym. I hate to work out on my own, so I had to find the classes and the trainer that I really love, and now I cannot live without it. But I would not work on my own. I get so bored so quickly with working.
But you see, that is amazing, because you found what works for you.
Right.
For me, I get frustrated when I work with a trainer, because I've been working out my entire life, on and off, right?
Right.
But that doesn't make me better than you. It doesn't make you better than me. You're tapping into your greatness. You know what works for Beata. So that's the same thing. We need to figure out what works for us, not what other people are doing, and they're telling you it's working for them, but we really don't know. Unless you live with that person, you have no idea. Absolutely. So I love the way that you figured out the recipe that works for you, and it's working.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And I'm not ashamed of it. Sometimes people say, oh, groups are stupid. No, it works for me.
It works for you.
Yeah. But you interrupted my question, and it's my show, so I'm going to ask you that.
Go ahead. Thank you. I love you. Go ahead.
Okay. So we are talking for everyone who is watching us later on, maybe on the replay, or is still with us, and let us know when you are with us, because I cannot see on StreamYard everyone. So we're talking about peak performance and how to stick there. But is it possible, Bert, to achieve our potential, or is it always expanding?
I believe it's always expanding. I believe, just like everything else we've done in our lives, right? I believe that there's always room for improvement. There's always room for growth. There's not that one perfect place, because when you get to that place, and I said that earlier, it's not really perfect. It's really not the way you thought it was going to be. You're like, I want it more, or maybe I'm happy right here. It's up to you. But most people like, this is not what I expected. I want more. So it's okay to want more. But the thing is, potential is just, I believe you were born in this life to be great, to leave a legacy, your legacy, your information, your story. And a lot of people die without doing that. A lot of people die, when they get older, whatever their age is, 70, 80, 90, 110, they go back and say, shoulda, woulda, coulda. I should have done this if I would have done that. And I don't want people to live that way. I want people to live at their full potential as much as they could most of the times in their life. When you're a child, Beata, you were unstoppable. I was unstoppable. Your parents will tell you no. You're like, watch me, right?
That's right.
But society gets to us. Social media gets to us. And then we're like, maybe we're not that young anymore. Maybe we need to be a little careful. And it's okay to be careful, but not too careful, because then you miss out. There's so many things that we're able to do as human beings. My latest book, don't drink the Kool-Aid. I talk about the neurons and how to create new pathways to get to where you're going a lot faster instead of trying to break through old patterns in your life. Maybe in another show we can talk more about that. But that's one thing I'm telling you. Potential is unstoppable. You stop growing when you finally die. And we don't know when that's going to happen, because we don't know the future. It could be tomorrow, or it could be the next 50 years, especially with today's technology. People are going to live 150, right? That's what I'm hoping for.
That's so true. Yes. So you said again something what really stands out for me. Be careful, but not too careful, because you might miss out on this thing called life. And you also, to everyone who is listening, experience it first. It's what Bert said before. So whatever your dream is, and you are scared, you are living in fear of not achieving it, but maybe you didn't even try. So go and experience it first. Maybe it works, and you will be surprised.
Yeah.
Bert,
let me give you one more quote.
Yeah.
Les Brown. Remember we talked about not because Les, I know that you love him and I love him too. So this is another quote that changed my life. Fear is false expectations appearing real. And he says, in life, you are going to fall. But when you fall, make sure you land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up.
Get up. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
And those are the two things I tell people. Fight that fear that keeps holding you back, and you're going to fall. Anyone that tells you you're not going to fall, they're not being honest. But make sure you land on your back. Because if you can look up, you can get up. And that's basically it. Don't be afraid of succeeding. Don't be afraid of the challenges that life has to bring to you. Do not be afraid, because you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out. A lot of people think that they're living life. They're not. Life is living them. That's why I talk about my quote, live life, don't let life live you. Because we spend too much time letting life guide us. And we don't want that.
And as Bert Oliva says, make it happen.
Yeah.
Yes. So Bert, where our audience can find you? What is the best way to connect with you?
Yeah, let me put this up real quick. To meet me, all you have to do is follow Bert Oliva, B-E-R-T, Oliva, O-L-I-V-A, on your preferred social media. Or just visit meetbert.com. You'll find that website. You'll find out the social media. We made it very simple,
Yes, you do.
So that way you can find me no matter what.
Yes, absolutely. So please follow Bert through his website or any social medias. You just Google Bert Oliva and boom, he is there with his quote, make it happen.
Before we leave, can I leave one quote letting everyone know?
Please,
one thing I want you to understand is this. Number one, I love Beata, and I love what she's done with her life and what she continues to do. She's definitely a person you need to be following. If there's one thing that's been said on this podcast, this video stream that has touched you, watch it again. It takes about 6 times to watch a program to really take the information in. If you find information in here that's important, that can help other people, share it. Don't keep the information for yourself. Look, you have greatness inside of you. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself. Choose the right coaches. Choose the right moments in your life to really take advantage of making things happen. You have the power within you. My name is Bert Oliva. My quote, the quote I live by is live life, don't let life live you. Cuban born, American made. I'll see you guys.
Yeah, and I like whenever I go to your pictures, you have this pose.
Make it happen.
Yes, I love it. So make it happen. Thank you, Bert, for being here with us today. I'd be honored to have you back for sure, because you have much more to offer than this 30 minutes show. So to everyone, please follow Bert, and thank you for your kind words about me. People, please share, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because you never know when you are sharing that kind of empowering message who might need to hear it and who might need to have this desire to be uplifted today. So please do share. Thank you so much, Bert. It was an honor to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you.